Come explore ancient wisdoms and groundbreaking practices. We'll travel the world, do wacky experiments, and have delightful guests. I'll lead you in deep meditations, all to give you the takeaways so you can live energized, enlivened, and empowered. I'm Dr. David, and this is Aliveness Now. In this episode, we explore more missing pieces. Welcome back to Aliveness Now. Aliveness is that experience of feeling profoundly alive, to be energized, enlivened, and empowered within yourself and in your relationships. We began discussing the last episode about the catalysts that help you create energy and aliveness in your relationships. We discussed the 3 guides of relationship. What guides do you need to follow to create beautiful, deep, enduring relationships? We'll continue that exploration here in a little bit. Also, in this episode, we're going to talk about the stories that get in the way of relationship, that distort relationships, get you to react rather than respond. They have you interpret and look at things in ways that aren't from what's really real. Stories are what get us into the big, great comedies of the ages. They're also the reason of the great tragedies. Poor Romeo and Juliet. We don't hold on to stories because we're stupid. We have innate intelligence. To me, we hold these stories until we can get wisdom from them. And then wisdom is weightless. It's like taking all the books that you're supposed to learn from, learning from them, and you got the wisdom. But first, let's go to our dear friend, Dr. Chakra-Chakra, to explore the next catalyst of relationship.
Teach us, show us, Dr. Chakra-Chakra, Dr. Chakra-Chakra.
Well, welcome back to my lab. You can see my experiments now, or if something that's taller is better than something that's shorter. No, they're both really amazing. And this one, we're helping combine a wing cat, more gold, and see what floats your boat, and we'll see what comes out of that. That could make a great relationship, right? Ooh, there we go. But today, we're going to talk about the catalyst of acknowledgement. You know, acknowledgement is something that's really powerful. It's amazing how powerful that is. And remember what a catalyst is. A catalyst in chemistry takes a little thing, puts it into a solution of 2 things that don't want to relate. You put the catalyst in, and whoa, they want to relate. So a catalyst reduces the resistance to relationship, to bonding. We want to bond. So today, we're going to do an experiment that shows you what happens when you acknowledge people. I'll be right back. Get this set up. Thanks. Okay, here we are. We're going to do an experiment to show you what happens when this relationship that's hardly filling it's only like a third full. I mean, it's just not giving you a lot of energy. But we'll put a little catalyst in there. I hope. We'll see. Okay, here we go. We'll start with some of this catalyst. Ooh. And then we'll see if we put some of this catalyst in there. Well, what starts happening? Whoa, it's rising up. Keep going. Go, guys. But that's the catalyst. You do a little bit of acknowledgement, and people start going, oh, that feels good. I want to relate some more. And you acknowledge yourself. You acknowledge them. And you acknowledge how amazing you are together. And it starts filling up that container. Your commitment is going to be fulfilled. And you're going to get lots of energy. So keep acknowledging yourself. You're good. You're amazing. You're a spark of creation. What's more amazing than that? And they're amazing too. And so here it comes. Look at that. go. It's gonna be, and there we come. Whoa, how high can it get? What's it gonna go? Oh, yes! We got extra energy. There it goes. Whoa. Wow. That's pretty cool. Nice. I wonder how long that lasts, but that's the good thing in relationships. When you fulfill them, the good stuff can last for a while. It's really good. And then you just keep relating and giving more catalysts. Last time it was focus, and this time acknowledgement. Those two together are really powerful too. Cool. So, lots of energy. Huh. Cool. See you later. See you next time. A delight as usual, Dr. Chakra-Chakra. Let's check in with Mr. David, our special correspondent for specialness. Here he is. Well, today we'll continue discussing the 3 guides that help you along your path of relationship. In each path of relationship, you have the path with yourself, the path with others, the path with the things you own. Each needs guides, or it's helpful to have guides to help you get to where you want to go. The first guide we discussed last time is vision. Vision helps you know what direction you're going. Again, it isn't a checklist, an intellectual thought process. It's not a commitment or a fantasy. Vision is how do you want it to feel down the line a little ways? Not the big end of the pie. It's how do I want it to feel in 6 months or a year in this relationship? To feel, not objects to own. So with vision, then, vision helps your wisdom have a place to be applied. The second guide is wisdom. Wisdom is the how to get somewhere. Vision was the where you're going, what direction. But how to get there comes from your wisdom. The wisdoms you have combine to define who you are. They're the banks of your river. They help you flow along. So when it's good wisdom, you flow and respond in the moment. When wisdom isn't serving you anymore, you react in a way that sometimes you wish you hadn't. So we need to help create fresh wisdom so that you're not reacting in the same way your past or your ancestry or culture has taught you that you should. Wisdom is an intertwining of understanding, empathy, and compassion, and new ways of looking at life. So the past perspective you had may have served you then, but it may not serve you now. Wisdom is new insight into old ways of looking at life. Bring new, fresh perspective to how you understand and have empathy for yourself and others. Wisdom is the only thing from the past brought into the alive now. Wisdom gives you a fresh start to understand in things in a new way, so you respond in a way that's appropriate for this now moment. Think of reacting is reacting from wisdom which no longer serves, from a story that no longer is current. Responding is how you treat others as if they are what they are, a special human being on this earth. When you treat others with wisdom and empathy, looking at empathy and wisdom as two sides of the same coin. Then you will respond and relate in the joy of the now moment with the freshness and depth that that brings. Wisdom guides you to take the right step right now. But along the way, on the path, you may have to create wisdom. You may stumble. Old stories may arise that don't serve you anymore. But that's the opportunity. That's what a path of relationship gives you, is the opportunity to create new wisdom. But also, along the way, remember, wisdom without vision won't get you anywhere, except by random chance. So, vision gives you a place to apply the wisdom. But you need the wisdom to help you get where the vision is guiding you to. So create both vision and wisdom. Transform the stories that you've been living that no longer serve you, turn them into wisdom. And that takes acknowledgement and focus. Acknowledging those stories, giving them understanding and empathy, they turn into wisdom. So cool. See you next time.
Here at the theater, different characters have different stories. This creates the great tragedies and the great comedies. It creates the tension, the conflict, and misdirected love, misdirected anger. In your body and mind, in your parts, stories play out like the plays on the stage. But your plays do not end. They sit in the background, affecting your reactions, siphoning off your health. They misdirect your vision and keep you from feeling your full aliveness. Parts of you believe that the stories are real. What if you came to the play and thought the play was real? What if you charged up onto the stage to keep Medea from cutting up her brother or killing her sons? They would send you to the Asclepion to have the sacred snakes cure your ills. You learn and gain wisdom by comparing what is real with the reactions and the thoughts and the feelings that are coming from the past or our fears of the future. Just as the ancient Greeks gained wisdom and depth from attending their plays right here. As you relate to others, come to know what is real in the moment. This way your stories don't interfere with the true love and the true union you have possible for you together.
You're listening to Aliveness Now on the Transformation Network. I'm Dr. David. We'll see you after the break. Yeah, it's still going. That's a catalyst for you. Here we are in Stockholm, Sweden. The talk we're going to give tonight is about stories. The stories that you play inside that cause you to react like an idiot sometimes. And sometimes help you survive circumstances that aren't so great. They're the wisdoms that we had that no longer serve us. We're ready to turn them into deeper wisdoms, into something that's going to help us find a new way to be alive more often and help us flow in our life and get more fluid in our bodies. If you have a story stuck in here, you're not going to be able to breathe. You know, stories keep us from relating well. So that's what keeps these parts of us from relating well. They get tight, tense, dysfunctional, painful. We want to help these stories come open to something that's real and transform from having to hold that, come back to the now moment and feel alive in this moment where those stories have transformed us, our rivers into a flowing, delightful experience of life. At least better to respond in the moment than when the stories are there. The stories are confusing to other people because they are us reacting in a way that doesn't feel real. So I'll take you into that retreat and we'll have an experience as I'm working with people that you'll get to be there too. Want to come? Okay, just down the street here's Welledge. That's where Dr. David's giving a retreat. So we can go in, be a fly in the wall, and watch and listen. Want to go in? Yes. What I want to help people have is, how do you become alive right now? We can say, well, I'll do it next week. I could do it, maybe I should have done it a little while ago, but where are you? You're right here. So let's help create aliveness now and help you learn how to find that aliveness whenever you're missing it. So the idea is coming alive. We're gonna see things start breathing. They get warm. You get more flexible. You're not stiff, and you feel alive. Feel emotions. Feel spirit. Feel what life has to offer. It's not always fun, not always delightful, but yet it's real. To me, how we evolve as a human being in one life is how much wisdom and empathy can we create. This seems how the world works. The more each of us turns these things into wisdom, it's easier for others. Our charge, I think, is to expand consciousness. Expand consciousness, to help create this wisdom, to create empathy. It first came to me, this missing piece of its relationships inside. Two parts, the brain is supposed to tell the whole body where we're at. The pons, midbrain, part of the brain is saying, this is where we are. We're at the beginning of a race. Okay, we're gonna be like this now. We're getting into a bathtub. Oh. But why do people come in a peaceful place, they sit down, they're like, why are you tight? Some part of the brain has to be telling you to be tight. That's what it's telling you, because it is. It has control over these muscles. A posture is the brain telling you to be that way. A position is a choice or a need. Like if I really want to look in your eye, I may bring my consciousness out, like in the fog when you're driving. We do this. Now, so then the posture that we take, we get stuck in certain ways of looking and processing the world. So and the cartoonists know, when there's a reverse neck and it's really tight and like this, that isn't happy. That isn't the one of the seven dwarfs is what? Happy? I don't know what they call them in Swedish, but then there's a grumpy. That's a grumpy. You just know when you meet someone like this, they're going to bite back pretty quick, with a little input. So our reactions versus response. Reaction is reacting out of something that's not real. It's like if she looked at me, oh, why did she look at me like that? It's like, she's looking at me really nicely. What am I saying? But it's like that, but could it be a reaction because I had, somebody in the past look at me a certain, whatever, am I stuck in the past somehow that I'm reacting to something that isn't real? That's what people don't like about us. It's not the person, the soul, or the human being that we don't like. It's when they're stuck reacting to us in a way that isn't fit what's real. And so that's what will happen within us, is when these parts aren't relating well, they'll hold tension, hold a distortion, hold a certain posture, because that is the wisdom that's been passed to it. This is how I better react to the world to survive. So if there was some past intensity, again, it's fun to use examples. It's like I was touching a guy's neck. And you go like this. I touch his neck. Go like this. I go, what's up? It's like, I'm a chiropractor. I'm going to touch your neck. Well, my mom used to grab me by the neck, and just, it's like, oh, okay. So he was reacting. His brain had taught him to contract. So to me, that is the tensions and the distortions held within us that get us to have a posture, have a way of
even in English, I don't know how it is in other languages, but when we're posturing or trying to be a certain way to exude something we're not. What I work with is how do I help these parts start relating again in the now moment. So suddenly it goes from my heart being like this, where I feel I can't let anything in. I don't want to let anything in. I'm overwhelmed. I don't want to let anything in. Once I just remind it and I notice it and I go, hey, yeah, it's hard, it's rigid here. Hey, if I notice it though, it means the rest of me doesn't believe it. Yeah! It means because I can't observe it unless the rest of me somewhere else. So to me, I celebrate that, because I cannot, if all of me is in it, I will never notice. So in relationship, there are catalysts that help us relate. One is acknowledgement, empathy, focus, the choice. So these things help us relate. When we add these catalysts, it helps us relate better. Can we add that catalyst to our parts? And the stories are being held not because we're dumb, it's because we want to get the wisdom from them. We want to resolve that in some way and get empathy or wisdom. As we can acknowledge and have empathy, that part gets heard. It's like when someone's sad, if you went up and go, be happy, idiot. It's not going to work. But you sing the song with them. So I mean, this is like singing the note of harmony. So you can't ever feel exactly, I can never feel exactly what you're feeling, but I could sing the note with you. So empathy we'll use as one of our tools to empathize with a part of ourself. We'll demonstrate and just work through the story and see what happens. Do you want to do that? Go, there we go. Who wants to go first? There's right here. There's a lot going on. Mm-hmm. And that's that link between the heart and the empowerment. So if you have heart and empowerment, what would be the link? Self-esteem. So almost always when there's tension there, if we went down, use your fingers, we're gonna as you go down the sternum, mm-hmm. Here we go. Feel that hole? Mm-hmm. It's not supposed to be a hole. That's really? It's a tension like this. Feel mine. Yeah, it just slides. If it used to have a hole, okay, it just kind of goes down and you thunk in. The shape may be different. I have man who has a really caved-in chest, but there's not a. But just it's the sliding into something, and that energetic slide in is the self-esteem. So I'll do this. It's already changing. It's getting hot there. Just acknowledging, touching, it's already starting to, let's feel, it's starting to slide through. You're good. You're good. So the idea of knowing who you are helps this one. And who are we? We're a spark of creation. That's my story. I gotta have a background story to compare these other things to. So then any concept of self-esteem where I'm not good enough, no matter what I do, it'll never be enough. What, not gonna be enough to be a spark of creation? Come on, give me a break. So I have no value. You put yourself on eBay, right? Spark of creation for sale. Whoa! But anyway, so having that background belief, wow, already, I don't know if you can sense, but just it's sweating here now. It's much better. Let's just roll you on, make sure you're not just sitting up straight on purpose, but you can't because there's a posture, and it's going down a little further, right in here now. And the words that come from that one spot, it's wrong to be too happy about myself. It's wrong to be too expressive of my nature. I'm afraid to show people that I love who I am. Something like that. Those are the words that flow through me. That's one of the things I developed all of these years, is putting words to vibration. They're my words, so I can't say they're hers. But for me, if that vibration, that's the words I would put to it for me. So I'm not trying to interpret or anything. I'm just saying, wow. Now again, I love the fact that it got softer. So we go up. So to me, that's a nice beginning. It's amazing how much softer that is. And it's like, wow. And we just say, for her, let's just go one more step. And it's, again, I want to go here because there's a lot of tension here. But it's being pulled from other areas, perhaps. I mean, it's not, I want to go layer by layer.
The top layer gives me the wisdom to handle the next layer. And then the next. If we try to pull this layer out, the dam, you pull the bottom rock out of a dam, everything's going to fall on you. So the layer by layer gives you the wisdom. And again, this is the center, second chakra, and this is just how, again, who are you becoming? Story is identifying with what I hear, having a closed heart. That's just who I am. I can't let in that much. Something like that. I don't know. Someone's like identifying with having tension here. The tension in the heart, like that's just who I am. That's how I am. I have my heart that way. I keep it protected. You know, as it opens up here, that's one thing. But to open up the identity, shifting the identity, it's not who I am. It's what I can do or may do, but it's not who I am. And can you sense the difference? Again, my words may not be anywhere close to what you feel, but boy, that got soft. We want to let more in from above. And just the story of it's not safe to be in this body. It's not safe to be on this earth. Again, just a piece, not all of you. But as you empathize with that and go, wow, there's a story. But the cool thing is, the rest who doesn't believe it anymore. Yay! So you can have empathy. I know the feeling. Maybe not your feeling, but I know. I can sing that song. Yeah, fuck. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. So allowing that to be empathized is starting to get hot. Yeah. Go. Yeah. And just love it up. It's just a feeling, though. It's allowing that in. It's okay. You're here anyway. Might as well be all the way in. Like that. Good. Whew. And there's, to me, the spiral that I like to get to is we're all now, sometimes after one thing, but after a few things, then now this is something, there's a completion here. Can we have someone help her to a spot? Beautiful. Thank you for being so brave. So sometimes I'd ask people, and this is one of the things, is where's the rub in your life? What's bugging you? Is there anything particular in your life that's kind of a rub or bugging you in life? Any particular thing?
Right now I'm going through a breakup.
Okay. I figured it felt like there's something going on. Okay, that's hard. That's hard. Whew. Can you all feel that? It's like, just that, it's like, he's getting hot just from us all having empathy for him, because we've all been there, right? So we can sing that song with him like I've been there. And it's already just that empathy, it's all getting hot up here. Do you feel that?
Yeah.
So us loving you up and go, oh, we know that shit. That revealing of yourself. Let us be with you. And there was a hunch here, a shelf. So in English, I'll tell someone, don't be shellfish, like selfish, or shellfish. Shellfish is the opposite of selfish. Where you're taking it all on your shoulders. It's all up to me. I have a lot to handle. So handling, think of what's going on here. You have inspiration, meeting the outer part of the chakra here, the physical expression. When I'm not inspired to physically express, I'm handling things. I get a shelf. I take it all on. So this is not a hard thing. It's not an easy thing to want to handle. I mean, it's like hard to be inspired in what this man's going through. But yet this moment, can we let you be in this moment to find inspiration being with this group and know that in this moment there's nothing to handle. You're with us. I'm doing the work, gravity's doing the work. There's nothing you gotta do. So acknowledging, having empathy with us having had a lot to handle. But the reminder, but not right now, this old part of the brain that deals with this, the kind of primal brain that kind of creates the energy around the neck and the shoulders, can let go, because it knows three things: attack, defend, or have fun. We like the last one, or enjoy life, or be tame, whatever. But the attack and defend, that's what a lot was here, or attack, defend, but also carry and take on. That's the primal brain trying to survive a difficult time. So we can remind it right now, it's okay. That primal brain can let go for a little bit.
And it comes into the fifth chakra here, which, again, this is letting us in. The fifth chakra, verbal and physical expression. So whenever I have tension out here, I talk to my primal brain just like that. Oh, you think you need to defend me? I can see why. Yeah, I can see why you might believe that. But not right now. So the story out here, if I don't defend myself, I'll be vanquished, or something like vanquished being defeated, or something kind of, again, these are archetypes that come up that feels we have to defend ourselves, or we'll just have nothing left. So we know that, I know the feeling, So we're having empathy with that. This brings a lot more softness here, because that primal brain just needs to be reminded that right now it's okay. You don't have to defend me right now. I'm not going to be vanquished in this moment. So we'll start stringing those moments together. So the first wisdom is what is real. What's real? In this moment, it's okay. So getting that first wisdom right in here, it's okay. So breathing and stretching. So there's a lot of change. I'm going to say it's everything that changed, but it's like a relationship began. So it's starting to get softer, getting more alive, heat, a lot less rigid. It feels like it's busy now with that relationship. I'm not going to ask it to get everything out of there. It's relating. That's what I'm here for. Help come alive. Because as it comes down, then I get to here. This draws me right into here. And again, this is that vigilance spot. So again, honoring, but just a slightly different story. And this feels like it's a deep in. It's not safe unless I'm vigilant. So we listen to the stories of when it was true. Let them flood through my mind. There too. And just feeling that until that part has told his stories enough that it's going to stem. But today looks like a nice day. So this moment looks okay. So it's a sense of that part having told his stories enough that it's told its stories, got the wisdom of when and when not it's true. Sometimes I'll also go in and let it tell the story of when it wasn't true, where it was okay to not be vigilant. There are times, like a lot of people aren't vigilant, they're fine. There you go. So then, there we go. That feels a little more now, like that part can come out of the cave and say, today's a nice day, and go sit on the beach, sip its Mai Tai, whatever, it's just relax. I'll know when, if I ever need to be vigilant. So that's the second wisdom. It's bringing that more freedom in that upper chest. I don't feel the buzz. I go to do anything, it's like it's busy. So this is, again, a sense to learn over time of know when they're in it. And you can just love them up, be present. And it's just like, wow, yeah, it's okay, we're ready. Yeah. Wow. And we'll just add to it that little bit of positioning as he's unwinding to help make sure that these parts on the inside get the message. Because if things don't move, the brain has a hard time finding or talking to them. So we're just going to go up like that. And again, another opening, kind of release through there.
That's tingling in my fingers.
Feet tingling all the way down in. Yeah. That's the pressure coming off all these nerves, man. Yeah, just aliveness coming on. Dead things don't tingle. Especially when you're releasing stuff, that's for sure. Yeah. And you might feel, this is such a release. You might, as you said, you might feel your hands having to move. And they may get even stuck in certain positions as they unwind the intensity.
So wet.
Yeah, you're sweating. The idea of coming alive is so important that we don't even think about it. It's such a thing. It's like, this is what we're here to be, is alive. So how come we aren't being taught how to become alive? People are so shocked by the question because they're so used to having to talk about their pain and their problems and this. Do you want to be more alive? Yeah. No, just the question is such a great one to remind ourselves that's what we're here to be. We're here to find this aliveness. It's something that can bring us amazingly more beautiful health and great relationships. And also a sense of peace within myself when it's peaceful. When it's not peaceful, I'm ready. Okay. But then come back out of it. So it's a flexibility, being alive as a human being. So embracing my human beingness, that accepting that this is who I am here on this earth.
Yeah, here we are, Stockholm, Sweden. We're talking about stories. And how do you find your stories? Oh, there's lots of ways. Here's a couple. Well, the first thing is don't be afraid of them. They're just stories. They may not look good, but that's okay. You're just looking at them and realizing you're a human being who has stories, who will look at things in ways that aren't always enlightened. So when you can, look inside, start looking like, what could I be feeling in part of me? That's the key. Because the rest is not there. If you can notice it, so it always makes me feel better because they're never flattering. So finding my stories first, don't be afraid. Second, where's the rub? That's often where it is. What's rubbing you, bugging you in your life? What's the rock in your shoe in your life? Oh, what is that? Find it. It's not a big deal. You'll get to it. But that's a very good place to look. We're going to go on a museum tour here in Stockholm because there's different types of museums that you need to explore in your life. Your past successes, your past difficulties, the ancestral line that might have come through, and what's it like to be alive. There's museums for all that here. And you have that within you to explore and become more alive through it. Here we go. And here's the Living History Forum. It's about exploring your history so that you can become a greater human being. Now, is that an Aliveness museum or not? We're going to go in and check it out. Explore what's possible to become a better human being. That's so cool. This part of the museum is about propaganda. What propaganda have you fed yourself about who you are and what's possible for you? How you've been swayed. How have you been swayed to think a certain way? How have you been taught that you know no longer serves you? Yeah, look out for your propaganda or your cliches. What do you say over and over that hasn't changed? Living things change and grow. Cliches show where you're not growing. This wall is about the tricks used to influence you. Repetition, repeating it over and over. When a lie is repeated over and over, it will become truth for some. Simplification. That's another way we've been fooled about ourselves. Trying to simplify, you're a woman, means this, versus it's complex about who you really are. Disinformation. Just telling you things have been told to you that just aren't true for you. This exhibit's about social psychology and how we can become influenced by following the stream of what other people think, or trying to stay comfortable. So we will ignore uncomfortable things. Here are the winners of the prize for those who had courage and took action. Who in your life has had courage to stand up for you? Who have you had the courage and taken the action as you stood up for others or for yourself? Remember those times you stood up for yourself or someone was there for you. Make them your heroes. They're your prize winners. Here we are, the Stockholm City Museum, about the history of Stockholm. What I'd like you to do is treat it I guess if you're taking a school group through the museum and learning as you went through life. But when you got forward into the present moment, wow, there's some parts of that school group. Where's Johnny? Where's little Susie? They didn't learn. They're back at the other exhibits wondering, what's this mean? So you got to go back through the museum and look back at these exhibits and find your students, find your parts. So parts of you didn't get the full wisdom from the events in your life, or in your parents' life, or their parents' life, or their parents' life. Somewhere in history, there's some exhibit that didn't get fully turned to wisdom. Those are stories that we carry with us, that now you can get the wisdom because you have enough understanding and wisdom developed to go back and look at them. So those students are back there going, what the heck? I don't understand this, teach. But as soon as you help them understand, they run forward and they join everybody else back in the whole group. Let's go in. I think it's time to look through your closets and look for the broken pottery, the old shoes, things you don't need anymore. What in your life are you done with? What can you throw out? What keys do you have on your ring that don't go to anything anymore? What locks have you put on life that you just don't need? Get rid of that old pottery. Someone else can discover it in 1,000 years and be happy, but you don't need it right now. What personal defenses do you still have on? Are you ready? Or can you take that armor off? What would it feel like in this moment to walk free? It gets hot in that armor, I bet. Unstrap it. What's it take to take your armor off? In this moment, it's safe. In this moment, it is safe. There, see, the light's dim. You don't need that armor. What would it take? Unstrap it. Let it clunk down to the ground and the light will come back on. How free it will feel to slip off those leg armors. Take off the helmet. You don't need that helmet. Or the mask. Do you need that mask? Wow. Walk free on this earth. What would that feel like? And you can always put it back on when you need it. You know how to use it. And what sword do you got that you hold all the time, ready for the fight? Let that sword go. You don't need it right now. You can always put it on. You can always pick it back up if you need to. How were you treated as a child? What desks do you still sit in? What trauma happened to you at school? Did the principal make you eat your green beans like mine did? So our childhood, there's a lot to look at. You just have empathy, a human being life. Sometimes separated at birth from our mothers. Whew. Wow. Be there for each other. Support each other and yourself in a way you weren't supported. Childhood sometimes were a lot of work. Having to work at a young age. Honor your ancestors. Some, that's where they lived. Empathy leads you to the wisdom of today. You no longer have to climb those steps. Are you keeping your journal? This guy seems to be blank.
Are you keeping your journal? He's trying to think, I think. But his page is blank. What are you going to put in your journal? What has been the journal of your life? Migration. What migration undertook by you? What are you migrating toward? Where are you moving from and moving into? How about your ancestors? What did they pass along as they migrated and brought their things across the sea? What was it like for them to board that ship, leave the country? What time is it for them? Is it time for you to turn this to wisdom? Are they cheering for you? What they couldn't turn into wisdom, you can. What reactions do you still have that came from their life? What parties were in your past? What dances inspired you or took you to places you maybe didn't want to go? This exhibit is about theater, playing, acting, taking on a role. What roles have you taken on? What do you take on now? Are you ready to change roles? Do it in a new way? Let go of old roles. Take on new ones. Enjoy the theater of life. Here we are, the Nobel Prize Museum. We'll go in and explore the prizes and help you find the prizes that are in your life. Your life is filled with successes. You're alive, you're flowing. Let's go explore. Okay. All right, so we're in the Nobel Prize Museum. Look into your museum inside yourself. What successes have you had? What successes have you had that you can be proud of? You know that you've succeeded. There are times in life, yeah, you did well. So explore all the possibilities. Maybe someday your glasses will be in the museum. But it doesn't need to be, because you're alive. Your aliveness is the success. Where in your work, in your recreation, have you been successful? Look back, there are spots. What game have you been successful at? What instruments have you played in life that are still resonating with music and sound? What hats have you worn that you can be proud of? Where have your shoes walked that none others have? What are your keys to life? What difficult times have you made it through? What surgeries have brought you to be able to fly again? What distorted times have you lived through to come to be who you are now? What chains have you taken off to become this free, alive human being you are now? In what part of your life, when were you imprisoned in within your stuckness.
How did you get out? You did it.
When did you have to flee and leave what was comfortable to produce the life you now live? These are your successes, not just the joys. Not just the joys and discoveries, but those are important too. What have you discovered about yourself? What knowledge and wisdom have you created that have set you free? What sutras have you developed? What impulses led you to your current aliveness? What quantum entanglements have you gotten free from to be where you are now? What have been your collaborations? What have you brought together with others? These are your prizes. This is to honor you. What have you visualized that no one else has seen? That produced something new in the world in your life. Just by visualizing, you create. Create that vision. Create your model of Zuniite. Whatever that is. What results have you gained that has helped you come alive? Celebrate these things. That's what this museum, this time is for you to reconnect with your successes. Here are all the prize winners. Where's your picture? It's right here, I know. It's here amongst all the prize winners of the world. There you are. See yourself there, because you've done it. It's okay to be proud of the life you've lived. Doesn't mean it's been perfect. But here you are, alive, contributing, and hopefully flying more joyously than her. Not sure what this is. This is exciting, yeah? The soul as an algorithm. Huh. Somehow that represents the soul to be. Give yourself a banquet. Put on your hat and your fine dress. Get out the good dishes. Get out the good dishes. Yeah, have a banquet. Invite your friends. Celebrate your successes. It's so good. Well, we have one more stop on our tour here in Stockholm. The magic shop. So go inside your shop inside. What magics do you have in you that can lead your life into greater aliveness? So go on in, explore, find your magic, make magic, experience magic. That's aliveness. Yeah. So today we've looked at the catalyst of acknowledgement and how that catalyst of acknowledgement helps us integrate our stories into wisdom. We've learned about wisdom as one of the guides of relationship. You need to develop wisdom, develop who you are, keep going forward, or you'll keep repeating the same mistakes over and over. There's some skills to develop. Part of it's coming into the now moment, deeper and deeper. That's big. And other skills that will help you
notice the stories as they appear. So you can go, whoa, look at that. And then develop that ability to integrate them into wisdom and feel the freedom and the flow of that. We're going to be doing more and more of this each episode. Exciting. So see you next episode. Practice your practices. Get present. This is the Transformation Network. I'm Dr. David, and you've been watching Aliveness Now. Yeah, it's still going. Whoa. Yeah, go ahead. Create aliveness within yourself and in your relationships. Join me every second and fourth Monday at noon Pacific on Transformation Talk TV. Download Love Springs app. It's a companion journey to deepen your experience. Visit createaliveness.com to find out about my Catalyst Games, Aliveness events, and retreats. I am Dr. David, and you have been listening to Aliveness Now.